We should think, how many times have we stung in that same hole? That's a hadith to bear in mind as well. This picture is of the tsunami that hit Indonesia. Yeah, and we all know the story of the mosque, the masjid that stood. Out of all the destruction, this masjid survived. It's the point I want to make is, those Muslims that sought sanctuary in the masjid were safe in that tsunami that killed thousands and hundreds of thousands of people who died. And those that went into that masjid, they were protected. The point I want to make is, if you think about this issue, about the rise of anti-Islam around Europe, against Islam being changed, those that hold on to Islam in this tough time, and they hold on it firmly, then they are the ones that will be successful. They're the ones that can move forward, with Allah will please with them in this world and in the hereafter, inshallah. So finally, what do we need to do? Because, we don't want to be like Al, compromising his deen. We don't want to be Abdullah, keep your head down. We don't want to be like that. We need to do something as well, because these issues are not going to stop. They ban in every country around Europe they're doing things. In Holland they got the fitna, they want to ban the Quran there. In UK they got PVE, they got groups giving money. There's many attempts to change Islam here. In France they got to ban the burqa. In Germany they want to close down certain mosques. They don't want any more mosques built. Now we have Switzerland. It's not going to stop. They're going to continue and they're going to continue. So we need to do things here, inshallah. So 3 points, inshallah, before I finish, inshallah. So what we have to do, number 1, we have to be sharp. Like that hadith say, when Abu Hurairah narrated that the believer should not be stung from the same hole twice. We need to be sharp. That's why I asked the first question. I asked the question about, how many of you actually knew about this topic of this issue before someone else told you. But at the end of the day, we're not going to go out. So someone might come up to us in the street and say, brother, did you know about the minarets? And you go, yeah, bro, I know about it. So then he might tell you, what do you know about it? And then you're stuck if you don't know anything. You have to be sharp. You got to know your stuff. You got to know and read up on the issues that affect Muslims. You got to know what's happening in the Muslim world. You got to know what's happening in Europe against Islam. You got to be sharp to know all that's happening around you. And once you have that, then you're a bit better prepared, inshallah. You got to speak as well. It's no point being sharp if you don't speak. So you got to speak out against anything you see. If you see the rise of anti-Islamic in Europe, you need to go out there and talk to people, your friends, your cousins, anyone in college, anyone in school. You go out and then speak to them. But at the end of the day, they need to know about this as well. And you need to give them a message that, if you don't speak about it, people will put their head in the sand. You need to give them the confidence that this deen will prevail. We have to stick to Islam, but that's the only thing we got. And if we don't speak, then that's what's going to happen in minaret. They're going to, sometimes when they ban something, now the Swiss People's Party, they ban the minaret. They get a bit higher. They go, let's test them more. Let's ban something else. They're proposing to ban, Geert Wilders in Holland said, whoa, he saw that ban. He said, we should do that in Holland as well. Ban the minarets. So they get more confidence. And we need to be sharp and speak out to make sure that this propaganda doesn't go out and get bigger. And finally, we have to be sacrificed. Because we can't do the first 2 things without sacrificing. Islam, we have to put Islam at the forefront. We need to be at the forefront of everything. Sacrificing means giving your time, your energy, coming to these circles as well and, going out there, getting involved in the da'wah. Because without sacrificing your time, the money, wherever you have your family, you have to do it. Or, these things about staying sharp and speaking won't make any difference. Because if you don't have that mentality of sacrifice in yourself, you'll be difficult to turn the tide against Islam. And finally, brothers, 3 words. I'm sure you heard it many times. Just stand for Islam, brothers. That's it. That's all you need to do. Stand for Islam. Be strong. It's going to get tough. But if we work as one and we work together, inshallah, this deen will prevail. Jazakallah khair for listening. Assalamu